I am super excited to have the next 6 days, which is the last week of my hunting for 2024, to be able to go out in the woods and spend this time chasing around whitetail bucks. We're approaching right as the rut starts really ramping up. I'm seeing more scrapes, seeing stuff moving around on the game cams. Could be a pretty exciting week, although with the spike in rutting activity, we also get a spike in hunting pressure, which brings along the potential for not only excitement, but a whole lot of disappointment, as I had on my last trip as well. I just finished up checking the first game cams. Not a lot going over on this side, so heading over to the other side, jumping on the quad, driving back up in the woods and seeing what we got going on over there. So I'll meet you up there. My name is Timothy Broche. I believe it's a suffering for what you take that is the true measure of a trophy. My style of hunting and fishing takes me beyond pulling the trigger, pushing my mental and physical capacity to enhance the experience of the harvest. The water and woods call to me.
Scrape here that wasn't here before. For those of you that don't know, I'll talk a little bit more about what those scrapes mean later in the video and why it's important for finding a place to hunt. My tree stand tree is right there. There's another scrape here that wasn't here before. And then this is the one that huge buck made that I got the video of at the beginning of my last trip. But this one has been worked a little bit more. So we're gonna sneak back out of here and go check the next spot. And I want to get up to the ground blind today and clear out a couple shooting lanes and probably spend the afternoon, evening in the ground blind, although it looks like it's foggy as hell up high, so. But let's get over there and check the game cams first. Looks like there's a couple different bucks on there, and there's lots of deer tracks around here, that the game cam would not have caught. I was gonna go back. My tree stand is right back here. I was gonna go back and look around a little bit, but it's a little bit noisy with the snow on the ground, and it looks like there's a lot of deer moving through here. So I don't want to be spreading my scent around too much, but I think we'll come up first thing in the morning, see if we get in this tree stand before light. Maybe sit until lunch and then break it up and go sit in the ground blind in the afternoon, which is where we're heading right now. It's really, really foggy. I'm just gonna work my way down really slowly. Maybe I can catch something on the way out.
Those are the only deer I've seen all day. Looks like 2 does and a fawn. One of them could have been a small buck, but it's a little bit too dark. But holy crap, are they sketched out. They ran like 500 yards and went up into the timber. Aren't familiar with deer behavior. During their breeding season, the bucks make what's called scrapes. They just paw all the tops or all the leaf litter and sticks and stuff out of the way. It will always be underneath some type of branches. But anyways, there's lots of different ideas and concepts about the nuances and how deer use scrapes, but just know that it's a way of leaving scent, marking their area. It's something they use to communicate during the breeding season. It shows the presence of a buck, and in some cases, hunting over scrapes can be productive. I've killed several bucks sitting in my tree stand back off of a scrape. I'm just hiking out of here. Not one deer. I've seen them down here, below this knob 3 times. Does and fawns as I'm coming in and going out, but not one. Oh, mistake. There they are, bastards.
That's a very fresh scrape. Wasn't here a couple days ago when I checked the game cams. I'll go up here and check the 2 game cams and see if there's any more running activity. These game cams have been up here for 2.5 days. There's not much on them. There's not much moving around through here. So, man, I really expected there to be more activity here. Time to head for the ground blind.
This guy in this red vehicle is killing me. He's killing me. I caught up with him a couple days ago, had a little chat. He's been hiking into the spot where I set up my ground blind. It's driving me crazy. I know it's public land and everybody can hunt where they want. It's fine. But, you know, I chatted with him and he was just hiking and I gave him a couple other places and, you know, he knew my ground blind was up there. He actually asked me if it was mine. And I thought we had kind of things, unspoken agreement that he would just kind of hang back. So he's not spreading his scent through there. You know, I'm hunting that area pretty hard. But every time I'm not there and he comes through, he parks and hikes straight up there. And it's weird. It's really weird because he will wait. If I'm parked there, he knows I'm up there. He will go like 100 yards down the road and wait like 45 minutes and then drive back up. If it were me, I would not go in if I knew somebody had a blind there. I guess is what's frustrating. Everybody does things their own way. That's fine. It's just me being frustrated. But it is frustrating. Today's Thursday, around lunchtime. The last 3 days, the last 3 or 4 days have been pretty rough. Not seeing anything in this weather. It's just been raining every day. You know, getting up before light, being in the tree stand, half an hour before light, moving over, spending 4 or 5 hours a day in the ground blind until dark coming out. Like it's just a hamster wheel and I haven't seen anything. There's nothing moving around. There's hardly anything on the game cams. You know, this idea of getting Mr. Wallhanger, that's not looking good. So, you know, if a decent bodied buck comes along, I'm probably just going to take it. I head up here, sit in the ground blind until dark, and get up early in the morning one last time, see what happens. I think I might have missed that one. I'm not sure. When he was running through there, I was looking at his side through the scope, trying to get another shot, but I didn't see any blood.
That deer was running like I missed him. Probably 100 yards from the tree stand. That's blood. That's the first blood I found. It's a nice bright red. Right in here is where I lost view of them. Dang. Oh, right there. Some tore up dirt. Oh, here we go. Oh, there he is.
Well, I just ended my hunt. This is one of the bucks that I seen on the game cam up here coming through at night a couple days ago. Looks like probably 3-year-old. His neck has swelled up a little bit. I'll show you a little bit on field dressing. I've got a video on just field dressing or gutting, whatever you want to call it. But I'll go through kind of what I'm going to do here, and then I'll put the link to the video in the description here. But I'm going to get the guts out of him, and I'm going to get him cooling off and then take my gear back to the quad, run down. It's not that far, about 5K. Get my pack, and then bring my pack back up, and then we'll quarter him up and pack him out. It's about 1 kilometer to the truck from here, so I'm not going to try and carry the bags all the way out there. I'm sure in the hell not going to drag him. Okay, so just want to get him kind of propped up a little bit. I just put a rock underneath that side, and then we're going to be careful with the glands back here. He's starting to go into the rut, but we're just going to split from here, split the skin straight up to the sternum, which is, oh yeah, he's right at the bottom of the chest cavity. We'll try to separate the testicles so we can leave one on each side of the hindquarters. The way fishing game likes to see it if you get checked. And then take everything from the inside out. Okay, so with the split, one of the things that I like to do is just try to split the hide first over the stomach area, because its stomach lining is underneath that, but the hide is much tougher. So if you get that stomach lining or the hide split first, and then you can go back and just stick your fingers kind of underneath it and lift it up, and then run your fingers and the knife right up. But before we do that, we're gonna open this up a little bit right here, take this on, split the pelvis bone. I got the insides out, propped him open a little bit. He's starting to cool off nicely. And I'm super happy too. Even though it's not a big one, I don't give a shit. I'm super happy. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna drag this thing out of here. And it's a little bit further to the truck than I thought. It's closer to a mile. Normally the next part of this would be, for most folks, and the way I used to do it is to take this muscle out right here. It's about that big around. That's a tenderloin, obviously on each side. But I don't do that anymore. Man, this deer is fat. I'm going to leave the tenderloins and the backstrap on the spine. And because I have a meat saw, I'm going to freeze it and cut it into steaks on the bone. But the next part would be to finish splitting the hide up to the throat. And then on each leg, we're going to split from about the center of the leg out to just past the knee. The back legs, we're going to be careful of those scent glands. And then we'll tip it over on one side and skin it back and take the meat off, and then do the other side. Got the first phase done. Just a couple things about transporting. If it's a buck, where we are, they want the testicles physically attached to the hindquarters, so you got to be careful of those. Also for transport, they like to see the feet on the quarters. Helps them prove species, I guess. One of the things about butchering these, you cannot use the fat. Don't try to salvage any of the fat, just throw it out. The more you leave out in the woods, the better. Before you take it to butcher, if that's what you do and you don't do it yourself, make sure you cut all the fat off so they're not mixing it with the burger. You'll get burger that the fat sticks to the roof of your mouth. It's horrible. It gives it especially if they're rutting a little bit, a nasty taste. Okay, we're a little more than halfway done. All right, and the last thing I'll harvest is the tongue. I'll put that in here with the heart and the rest of the little pieces. That's what's left. Have to take the head for transport, but just leaving the pelvis and the hide, and everything bagged up and ready to load onto the pack. I just started keeping the tongues. Just cooked my first tongue off of the doe I shot a couple weeks ago. It's really, really good. I'll show you guys how to cook and prepare this towards the end of the video, but if you haven't been keeping these, do yourself a favor and start grabbing them out of the heads. Well, we're back in the kitchen after the hunt, and I promised to show you how to prep and cook the deer tongue. Super simple. I'm just going to boil this thing for 5-6 minutes till it'll shrink up a little bit and start to get firm. We're going to cut the outside of the tongue off, just kind of peel it off. We're going to slice it into chunks. We're going to dump it in an egg milk bath and then cracker crumbs, and we're going to fry this in butter until it's crispy on the outside. So I'm just going to sprinkle these with a little bit of salt, and these things are really good. It's a great little appetizer. The texture is like gizzard. If you cook these and you fried gizzard, you would never be able to tell the difference if they were on the same plate. They're really, really good. Kind of surprising from the tongue, but I really enjoy these. From the field to your table. Enjoy.